The first segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News is brought to you by Flow.
Tonight, health officials confirm monkeypox cases on island. Carnival officials say 2022 event met its objectives. Choiseul Hyatt Hotel back on track. And Sports Minister weighs in on Julian Alfred controversy. The details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovely St. Amy Joseph.
Good evening. It is Thursday, the 21st of July, 2022. I am Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News on Flow, Channel 117, Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot FM mobile app, the Caribbean Hot 7 TV Facebook page, or via Hot 7 TV Plug and Play. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs on Thursday confirmed suspected cases of monkeypox here in St. Lucia. This as the ministry continues to monitor the monkeypox situation globally, regionally and nationally, with 15,378 monkeypox cases diagnosed globally in 71 countries in 2022, of which 15,135 occurred in 65 countries that have not historically reported monkeypox, including Caribbean countries. Dr. Glensford Joseph, Medical Officer of Health within the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, provides the details on the suspected cases here.
As of Wednesday, July the 20th, 2022, the Ministry of Health is managing 6 suspected cases of monkeypox, of which 4 have no travel out of St. Lucia. These suspected cases are being managed in isolation while they await the results of the monkeypox test. The epidemiology unit within the Ministry of Health is conducting contact tracing for these suspected cases.
Monkeypox is a viral disease caused by the monkeypox virus, which is usually transmitted from animal to human, but can also be transmitted from human to human through direct contact with skin lesions or indirect contact with contaminated objects with lesion materials. The virus is also transmitted through respiratory droplets.
Human-to-human transmission is responsible for the majority of cases in this 2022 monkeypox outbreak. The disease is characterized by the onset of fever, headache, back pain, muscle ache, weakness, swollen lymph nodes, and a rash that progresses through several stages from being flat and red to small raised bumps like pimples. These then change to fluid-filled vesicles that becomes pus-filled before drying to form scabs, which fall off as new skin forms at the lesion sites.
According to health officials, a person remains infectious from the onset of symptoms until the lesions fall off, with the formation of new skin, and symptoms may last 2 to 4 weeks. The Ministry of Health is encouraging people who develop these symptoms, including a rash, to go to the nearest healthcare facility for evaluation. Others are advised to take measures that limit their risk of contracting monkeypox, including the frequent washing of hands with soap and water or use of hand sanitizers, the wearing of face masks when in public spaces, and the practicing of physical distancing. The curtains have come down on Carnival 2022 and it has been hailed a success. According to the chairperson of the CPMC, while a post-mortem has not yet been done, preliminary information indicates that the entire Carnival season met its targeted objective. Genevieve Gonzague has more.
By all accounts, Carnival 2022 was an eventful, major incident-free one. Following the official close of the St. Lucia Carnival season on July 19th, the Carnival Planning and Management Committee held a press conference to speak on the success of the season. Chairperson of the CPMC, Tamara Gibson, says all the stakeholders, revelers and patrons who participated in the various events all contributed to a victorious Carnival season.
For 2022, we noticed an increase in numbers, especially in the national events. There are many persons who came out to support the events and also who tuned in on our live streams to see the events and be a part of the events. And we noticed an increased number from 2019 to this year. So for us, we think it's a success. All the events certainly did start on time, including the parade, and also the fact that by all accounts, it was an incident-free carnival season. We have had no significant reports from the Royal St. Lucia Police Force on any incidents during the season.
In relation to the two-day revelry that is Parade of the Bands, the production manager, Kayode Fossoir, explained that the event was seamless.
We were able to pretty much start on time this year, which has been a challenge in the past. So a lot of work had gone into that. On day one, which was Monday, we started at 10 a.m. We were able to get the first band on the road and moving at that time. And on day two, we started at 12 a.m. with a similar situation where we were able to get the first band on the road and moving them along promptly along the route, which allowed for a quite efficient flow of the bands into Castries. They arrived at the main judging area or the stage in Castries. First band arrived approximately 2 hours, between 2.5 hours after leaving Mega J, and were able to cross this stage quite efficiently.
By his account, in the past, there were many issues concerning security, particularly as the bands returned to the endpoint. However, this year, the bands were able to cross the stage and make it back to the finishing point before nightfall. One complaint that was heard throughout the season was how packed the 2 weeks were. Gibson says the placement of some of the events was strategically chosen for a multitude of reasons.
There were no new events for Carnival, absolutely no new events, because we tried to limit the number of events as much as possible, and that was mainly because of COVID and the possible spread of COVID at that time, when those decisions were made late in 2021. With the national events moving first, we thought it was a strategic move to ensure better participation of locals in the national events. We have to admit that the private events were taking some sort of precedence over the national events, because so people had to compete to say, well, make a choice in where do I go? Do I go to a national event on the Friday night, or do I go to Panorama? We felt the national events needed to have their own space, their own time, and also in working with the SLTA. The aim this year was to bring people to St. Lucia for a longer period of time.
Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
Meanwhile, the Creative Industries and Culture Minister, Dr. Ernest Hilaire, announced plans for an early review of St. Lucia Carnival as the event entered its last lap on Tuesday. He said that there were many issues to begin reflecting on and that the review will start early and that plans will be put into motion immediately.
According to Dr. Ernest Hilaire, who is the minister with responsibility for tourism, investment, information, as well as culture and creative industries, for the first time in many years, he was able to sit back and watch the Carnival Band's parade. The minister, who has been a part of Red Unlimited Carnival Band over the years, said that watching from the sidelines this year allowed him to see the Carnival parade from another perspective. Hilaire said that he was hoping that by early October there can be some announcements, adding that he would love to see Junior Panorama and Junior Kaiso in February next year, as well as training in songwriting, vocal lessons, costume design and building, and so many other facets of Carnival. The curtains came down on St. Lucia Carnival on Tuesday with the last jump up from Shock to Castries as thousands of spectators lined the streets along the highway and in the city of Castries to view the bands as they took their last bow before heading back to their point of origin. And while most revelers shunned their costumes on Tuesday, lessening the impact of the Carnival spectacle, for most spectators it seemed enough to have St. Lucia Carnival back. With a slightly shortened route and just 8 bands on display, the Carnival bands were headed out of the city long before 6 p.m. Tuesday. The event was relatively incident-free, with a heavy police presence visible throughout the city on Carnival Monday and Tuesday. St. Lucia Carnival was dubbed Nothing Sweeter Than That and ran from July 7th to July 19th, 2022. From all indications, the event, which drew thousands of visitors to our shores, was a success. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
The highly anticipated carnival season has now come to an end. The packed calendar of events saw patrons from St. Lucia, the region, and some from as far as Africa indulging in the pure vibes that they had missed for nearly 3 years during the pandemic. Reflecting on these past 2 weeks of carnival activities, members of the public shared with the news team their 2022 carnival experience.
Well, actually, I did not enjoy the carnival season because I was looking for something greater and better. But according to what I saw, it was not all to my, to my approval.
It's been great here in St. Lucia for carnival season. I've had a ball. I've gone to all the fests. I jump up on Monday, I jump up on Tuesday, and I'm just very happy to be here.
The only thing I have to say about carnival this year, okay? I never seen my life for my 67 years to see the nastiness of the women in St. Lucia.
So for the season so far, it's been a good carnival season, making a comeback from the pandemic. Looks like all the patrons did have fun, they did somehow make it a good time, and we look forward to better carnival.
Stay with us, still to come. An early morning fire has damaged a city restaurant. The sports minister weighs in on Julian Alfred controversy, and a 345-room luxury Grand Hyatt hotel for Sabisha Rizal.
The first segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News was brought to you by Flow.